So we're going to tackle this second example, r equals 3 cosine 2 theta, so that we can graph it. And the first thing we'll do again is test for symmetry. So remember that to test about the polar axis, which is the x-axis in rectangular coordinate system, we're going to see is it the case that f of theta is the same as f of negative theta. So that means that the radius when I go out theta degrees is the same as the radius when I go out negative theta degrees. That's a reflection over the x-axis. Assuming here, of course, that f of theta is r. So let's put in negative theta into our function. So f of negative theta will be 3 times cosine of 2 times negative theta, which is 3 cosine negative 2 theta. And since cosine is even, this is exactly 3 cosine of positive 2 theta. So we do have symmetry over the polar axis. To check symmetry over theta equals pi over 2, we're going to look to see whether f of pi minus theta equals f of theta. So to do that, we'll find what f of pi minus theta gives us. And that's going to be 3 times cosine of 2 times pi minus theta, which is 3 cosine 2 pi minus 2 theta. Now, I'm not sure what that is, so we're going to use a trigonometric identity to figure out this expression. We know that cosine of A minus B is cosine A cosine B plus sine A sine B. So that means if I apply that here, that cosine of 2 pi minus 2 theta will be cosine of 2 pi times cosine 2 theta plus sine 2 pi sine 2 theta. Cosine of 2 pi is 1, so this is cosine 2 theta. And sine of 2 pi is 0, which means this is exactly cosine 2 theta. So we have that our f of pi minus theta gives us 3 cosine 2 theta, which means we also have symmetry over the y-axis, or the line theta equals pi over 2. And so our final symmetry to test is symmetry over the origin, or the pole. And to do that, we're going to see whether f of pi plus theta equals negative f of theta. Let's check. So f of pi plus theta is going to be 3 cosine pi plus theta. And I'm going to apply that identity again just to be sure that I know what I'm doing here. So that's going to be 3 cosine pi cosine. Oops, I forgot the 2. No. Hold on. Let's go back here. Cosine 2 times pi plus theta. So that's going to give us 3 cosine of 2 pi plus 2 theta. Well, this is easier for me to see than the other one was, although they're both pretty much the same. If we just add 2 pi to 2 theta, we'll get to the same place. So this will be 3 cosine 2 theta. And so we also have symmetry over the origin. All right, so this is a very symmetric function, which means that this is a good thing because then we have a limited number of values that we have to put in to get a decent graph. So let me go to the second page. And let's get back to our example. We have r equals 3 cosine 2 theta. Okay, so we're going to do we're going to do a graph like I did with the other example, where I want to see what is the relationship between r and theta, just to see how r is changing as theta is changing. You don't have to do it this way. You could just do a t-chart like we do with all graphs in the rectangular coordinate system. That would be fine too. But I want to get a sense of what's going on. And since we have so much symmetry, I'm only going to look at values of theta from 0 to pi over 2, because then we can use symmetry over the y-axis, over the origin, and over the x-axis to get the rest of the graph. So we'll evaluate theta at pi over 4. We'll do pi over 3 and pi over 6 and see what we get. So when theta is 0, r is going to be 3 times cosine of 2 times 0, which is 1, so r will be 3. So we've got, let's just put 3 over here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, negative 3. Okay, so that's our first point. When theta is pi over 6, r will be 3 times the cosine of pi over 6, 2 times pi over 6, so pi over 6 times 2, which is the cosine of pi over 3. That's 1/2, so this gives us 3/2. So that's going to be maybe over here. When theta is pi over 4, r is 3 times the cosine of 2 times pi over 4, which is 3 times the cosine of pi over 2, and that's 0. Okay, then theta equals pi over 3. We've got r equals 3 times the cosine of 2 times pi over 3, or 2 pi over 3. That's going to give us a negative cosine, so this will be 3 times negative 1/2, or negative 3/2. And so at pi over 3, we are down here. And then finally, when theta is pi over 2, we have r equals 3 times the cosine of 2 times pi over 2, or the cosine of pi, which is -1, so that gives me a -3. So we've got something like this. So we can see a little bit of how r is changing as theta is changing. And we're going to try to use that to move to our polar coordinate system. Now, you have actual polar coordinate graphs in our course content, so you can do that. I'm just going to makeshift here. Probably I could cut it and paste it, but I don't. That takes too much time while I'm videotaping. Oh, that's crooked. Okay, that's okay. So this is my polar coordinate grid, right? So when theta is 0, r is 3. So here's theta equal to 0, and let's say 1, 2, 3. There's my first point. Now, here's the line pi over 4. Whoa. And then we've got pi over 6, that's the 30 degree, and pi over 3, that's the 60 degree. So when theta was pi over 6, we had a 1.5. So if I go, this is 1, that's 2, that's 3, so 1.5 might be over here. At pi over 4, we were down at 0, so this is pi over 4, so we go down to the origin or the pole. When theta is pi over 3, that's over here, we're at -3/2, so we got extended in this direction. Remember, when r is negative, we go the opposite direction. And if this is 1 and that's 2, then we've got something over here at -1.5. And then when theta is pi over 2, we have a -3. So -1, -2, -3. Pi over 2 is here. I'm going to go in the opposite direction to get to -3. All right. So let's try and see if I can put all this together. Let me move it up a little bit. And we're going to do that. And that. Now, that is not our entire graph because we've got lots of symmetry. We have symmetry over everything. So I can double this. So if negative 3 is over here, if I use my symmetry over the y, or for the line theta equals pi over 2, then I know that I've got that piece, and we also have this piece because that's symmetry over that line. But we also have symmetry over the x-axis or the polar axis. So we're going to go this way, that's symmetric, and we're going to go this way, that's symmetric. And we also, oh, wait a minute, and that piece too. Yeah, so we get all of these 4 pieces, and this is called a rose. So you can see how symmetry is really, really useful. Again, if you don't need to see how r and theta are related, you don't have to, but I like to see how r is changing as theta is changing to get the complete graph.